Okay, I think we are recording now. It looks like we're recording. So hi again.
Nice
I'm
to meet you.
so glad we're doing this. This is fun. Gretchen and I just met a minute ago, and I only just started the recording now. So we had a little chat to ourselves before we started. So basically, kind of to jump in, you want to work on Fernando, yes, right? So basically what I've been doing normally is with students and singers and everybody is they'll sing the aria first, and then we generally go back and work on it basically phrase by phrase. This sort of, this FaceTime Zoom coaching situation obviously lends itself to sort of very detailed work, I think, because there's no pianist and I can't play for you anyway, so So how does that sound for you?
That sounds great. If it's okay, this is an old aria. I've had it for like 5 or 6 years, and it's always kind of on the back burner. So, I'll work on it and put it down, and because it's a massive piece to tackle. So if it's okay,
Yeah.
I'd like to just maybe start with the cavatina, which I find maybe a little simpler, and I think it'd be really good to do some detail work on that and just make sure that everything's working properly.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Totally fine with me.
Great.
Let's see here. I'm looking at the music that you sent me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me know whenever you're ready, and I am ready for you.
Okay, I'm gonna stand. I'm at my piano right now.
Yes, do whatever you need. Barefoot, stand, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, so do we want to start maybe just right on it?
Yeah, go ahead. It's just like shake it out. Exactly.
Good morning.
I put myself on mute so that none of my sound would get in. Well, that was fantastic. Great. How do you feel?
It feels okay. There's some muscle memory in this, and I've kind of been exploring some new stuff in the low, and I didn't really feel like I showcased that much.
Okay. Okay.
I felt kind of mucusy, especially kind of below a D.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and I sometimes have issues with the passaggio and above, like the upper part of the staff.
Okay.
Just kind of like coming off of the core and maybe spreading, occasional intonation stuff.
Okay. Okay. Great. Yeah, I mean, all of the above, those things are all when we all experience them, and they're all very normal, and they're all very,
Yeah.
and we can evolve through them, out of them, into them, So fantastic, great, and I'm glad you answered my question that I was going to ask you next, which I always ask as well, especially in situations like this, where I don't know your voice. If when you were singing right now, of course, if that felt close to sort of how you would normally practice it, and do you feel, because I know the feeling, when you come into a coaching or even an audition sometimes, and you leave and you go, I just feel like I didn't sing the way I normally sing, or maybe you do feel like you sang the way you normally sang. So, but you answered that already, so that's fantastic. Great. Let's just kind of dive in. I would love to I always like to address breathing first, because it's really sort of the base of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to hear from you, like, what do you think about with your breathing? What do you do? What is it that you've been, what's your process there?
Yeah, I think that breath support is kind of the great mystery for everyone, but I just kind of felt like I'm stabbing in the dark in a way, But what I really when I'm feeling on my support the best, I feel like this kind of apogeo epigastrium area here engaged. I don't normally feel. I obviously feel stuff in the low abs, but I really do feel this the most to kind of keep the rib cage expanded, and then occasionally in the lower back.
Okay, great. So let's try something now, and see how you like the feeling of it, and how it sort of affects you. I am a huge believer and lover of breathing through my nose. I would say like 100% of the time, if I can. So the slow, low breaths are the easiest ones to do, of course, because you have time. It's the quick one that sometimes we don't always feel like if we breathe through our nose that we'll have enough time to do it. But you have to breathe slow and low. And I like to say slow and low, like a good roast, slow and low in the oven, like real slow. So start for just a second before we even kind of get into singing. I'd like you to see if you can take a deep breath through your nose and feel like the air is really kind of going down at a diagonal from your nose down to your lower back. Now, obviously, we don't have lungs in our lower back, so this isn't about, there's a lot of language, a lot of breathe into your lower back. Well, technically, you don't breathe into your lower back. And so the feeling you're actually going to have as you inhale sort of low and deep is release of those lower back muscles and the muscles down into your tailbone. So this feeling that your lower back and your tailbone are kind of going to release down into the ground. So go ahead and try and take a deep breath and just feel like your lower back is those muscles can release. So this also means that the tendency we have these days to lift our butt up, this sort of social thing, is really bad. It's just bad. So we have to just release our butt and the back of our legs, and that's our inhale. And at the same time, because I see you doing it anyway, and at the same time, that inhale, I love to think of it also as a reminder to keep all that wonderful lift that we talk about in singing, right? I always think that it's like the Italianate place, this aha, or the ee, it's all here, right? Yeah. So this breath through your nose, it's like it reminds you to kind of pull back. Yeah. But as well as letting the air go nice and low and deep. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath. And when you're done, exhale with an F consonant, quite strong, and then utilizing the strength and the tonicity of those lower abdominal muscles. You don't have to suck them in really hard, but
Okay.
it's just allowing them to be there for you in order to create that exhale. So go ahead and do your inhale. Good. So even longer, even slower, lower, deep breath. And if you can think about, we're going to release our abdominals as well, the front abdominals when we inhale. But I want you to think more releasing of the back than the front, like the very low abdominal muscles right underneath, like the belly button.
Okay.
I do like the idea that those are, they're not just bleh, right? They don't just kind of go bleh when you take an inhale. They're sort of, they're like the protective muscles, right? They always say, you know, if your core isn't strong, you can hurt your back and things like that. I like to think of those lower abdominals as being engaged. Again, not hard sucked in, but just being engaged, even through that inhale.
Okay.
And then your exhale, you're already engaged with those lower abdominal muscles without having to constantly like do that kind of emotion. So see if you can slowly kind of get those lower abdominals kind of engaged. Again, it's just an engagement. It's not a muscle tension. And with that engagement, do your great inhale, release into your lower back.
Okay.
Yeah. That's better. And then good, good. Did you feel on your inhale? Yeah, you kind of like, it was like your body fought you just a little bit, but it did release.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really good. Do that one more time, really good. Through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Okay, how does it feel to do a breath like that in general?
Feels good. I actually, I with these inhalations, I do feel kind of my back end tuck in a little bit, and it really does open this up way more.
Right.
Too.
Yeah, that's all very, very good. Okay, so let's just go into the first phrase. You're going to take that very slow, low, deep breath. And as soon as you're done taking that slow, deep breath, you start that phrase immediately.
Okay. Go on.
Good. So how did you feel just in general with that breath and the phrase?
I felt like I had way more at the end than I normally do, which I like.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Okay, good. Let's just do it one more time so you can kind of get that feeling. Make sure you're really breathing fully and completely through your nose.
Okay.
And then straight out into that singing. Great.
Okay.
Good.
That felt even better.
Yeah. Yes. The first time you did it, you might not have realized, but your mouth was open and you might have topped up with your mouth, which a lot of people will do. They'll breathe through their nose and then they'll breathe through their mouth because they have gotten accustomed to having a lot of air. And in fact, you kind of over tanked your air. And so it's like trusting that you have enough. Go ahead and do that next phrase now, even if it's out of rhythm, sort of. Good, great, great, great. Okay, so let's just go back and now we can add like a couple of like little details and things that you obviously can then add to the rest of the aria as it comes along. Okay. Little things like your consonant, for example, the M consonant. Mm-hmm. We can do this without super pressurized contact between the lips. We can do it sort of in the part of the lip, the inner corner, or not the corner, the inner side of the bottom lip, like you know where lipstick doesn't stick.
Yes.
Right? Exactly. So it's sort of like, it's sort of a pouty face if you go there, if you kind of go all the way there, and then eventually, you know, it works itself into your habits. So, mi, o, feran, and that F as well is somewhat called, we like to talk about them being like imploded, where the F does not go, right, where it kind of is a slimmer stream of air. Ferrando. And again, that la, the L, also something that Americans have a lot of trouble with because of the way we say L. Instead, think of it like a flip, like your tongue is, like if those are your bottom teeth, that your tongue actually is sort of like curling up and flipping. Like a la. Now, you won't do that ultimately probably in performance, but when you practice the action of it, then we get out of the oh feeling. So, della terra il trono. Good. Go ahead and do that whole phrase now. That was really good.
Oh, mio
Good, go on. And now if you just want to add a little bit of that sort of, a little more of that inner smile so that your ah is very Italianate, very, you know, you are a mezzo, how old are you again?
I'm 27.
You're 27, yeah. So you're still very young, right? So it's like, you have a beautiful tone to your sound and a beautiful voice. So make sure you're just absolutely singing with, you know, the voice that you have. You don't have to make it dark or loud or anything. Like, it's so good, right? So go ahead. Possederti. Go ahead.
That was a big old mouth.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so fun. I'm always like, wait, yes, you know, and everybody's so fast, right? So we all do it. We start something and then we're like,
Right.
Go ahead. That phrase again. That was really good.
Okay.
That was great. That that sort of feeling like, aha, like we might even see a little bit of your teeth or this feeling, aha.
Okay, yeah.
Great.
Okay. It's so hard to do that nose breath quickly.
Excellent. Yes. Right. Okay. So exactly. This is one of those things you kind of have to, I like to think of it like just allowing the breath to come in surely because you've created a vacuum with the exhalation does that make sense? Like all the air is out for your body to do, but inhale.
Yeah.
So sometimes when it's very, very fast, sometimes when it's very, very fast, you have to find the fine balance between the release and letting the air in and kind of like strongly being like, okay, it's going to come in there. So I know, possederti, right? Bria, right? That's sort of where you're having that quick breath. The other thing I also will say is you can try to breathe even though your mouth is open because you finish possederti, right? I'm so unwarm today. So it's just like one less thing to do. Does that make sense? I mean, it's tiny, but it's the difference between possederti, and then you can just go possederti,
Right. It just is more work if the mouth is closed, right?
Right. Yeah. So see if you can do this again, maybe even with the mouth open, but breathing through your nose.
Okay.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
That phrase is always so hard. It's like I wish I could do it all on one breath.
Maybe you can.
Yeah.
You want to try? Take a good real slow, low, deep breath. Okay. Make sure you're really well placed and just sing that phrase and let it go and see how far you go.
Okay.
Yeah, use your air. Mm-hmm. Good. That's totally fine. So let's do it again. Let's make this kind of like a fun thing, because your breath will, it'll find its way. I have a feeling you will be able to do this in one breath. I don't know. I just have a feeling.
Okay.
Probably one day sooner than you imagine, I bet. Do that one more time. Make sure you don't top up with a breath through your mouth. And just do it again, get really slow, you know. Oh, and as you're starting, I want you to play with those dynamics now as you go through the phrase, so that you don't have to feel like you have to give the same dynamic the whole way through. Go ahead and try that again.
Okay. I totally forgot the words there for a second. Let me do that one more time. So much about my breath.
So think you're breathing into that ah place. Oh, straight into that ah. So good slow breath. Yeah. Good. No, that's very good. And we're going to do it just one more time. And I really want you to take a very slow, deep breath.
Okay.
Slow. I think there's room for releasing your lower back even still. Let's try one more time. One more time. Oh, yeah.
Won't go there, but
no, but
yeah.
I mean, but that's it though, right? Like that was it. That was it. This is just now kind of also sometimes mind over matter, where you trust that your body has had enough air.
Yeah, that's hard.
And also, it's again, anytime we're kind of in that middly range too, you know, sometimes we feel like we expend more air. So again, think that was so good. I don't want to harp on it because I know you can do it, but I also know it's a really great feeling to just do it. Try for me as you go through this phrase, ah, that ah, first ah. Start that ah, and then give it a nice like little crescendo, G crescendo before the pulse there, same thing. You know, I took a breath. See what you can do with like little crescendos and more decrescendos to keep the air supple, as well as you know, not like over exhalation, I guess is the word I'm saying.
A little more malleable.
Yeah, and a real slow deep breath through your nose. That was really good. Release that lower back. Good, good, good. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I think what's great is that even if you know, aren't going to sing the whole phrase perhaps in one breath, to be able to know that you can take breaths kind of in different areas as well. I always think flexibility is key.
Definitely.
No matter what. So go on. That was really great.
Okay.
Nice. Good, good, good. So let's play around with that. Ma puro l'amor mio.
Yeah.
On that mio, again, give a good crescendo, decrescendo, so that your mi, I, o heading up there are releases rather than you have to feel like you have to take it anywhere. So mio. And again, it doesn't mean the top has to be soft. It just means that that first pitch is crescendo, decrescendo, which means it's very supported, and then the rest is a release. So go ahead, ma puro. did the mi-io feel?
Good. I like giving the bottom pitch a little more weight because then I feel almost more comfortable to ascend.
Yeah, so exactly. So what you're doing, it's not so much about weight. I have like heaviness or weight on the sound.
Okay.
It's about the support, right? It's about making sure you've engaged that support. So doing that crescendo and decrescendo is really reminding your body to be fully supported. And when you're fully supported at the bottom, you can just release as you go up. Do that just one more time, just that part, the ma pure la mor mi. And again, think of that crescendo, decrescendo, and I'm going to stop you if you don't do it. Think of that crescendo, decrescendo. It is fully engaged by your airflow, not by any muscular manipulation here, just your airflow. I'm going to do that again. So make sure you really decrescendo before you even go up.
Okay.
And then just think those next pitches.
Okay.
Even just do that. Mi-io. Okay. So do it one more time and really get that real good decrescendo on the mi.
Okay.
Good nose breath. Oh, well, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's so funny because it feels pretty similar, but it's just slightly different.
It's slightly different, and it makes this massive difference on the rest of the phrase.
Yeah.
So what was the difference for you physically? How did that feel here, support-wise? What was the difference?
Yeah, well, I definitely felt engaged the entire time, which I liked. And even coming off of it, having a larger voice, sometimes it's easy for me to just not support.
Right.
And then I pay for it as I ascend. And I think this is a good example.
Sure.
I really just kind of felt like almost like a trampoline of support as I go up, as I went up that time.
Good. Excellent. Okay, so now do that whole phrase and remember to keep that in mind. It's that crescendo, decrescendo.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. I want you to do it one more time, though. I want you to make sure, though, that you're not doing your decrescendo by closing your mouth further on the mi.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that distracts us from doing it where we need to do it, which is with our support.
Yeah.
So try it one more time, please.
I felt like I closed a little bit.
No, but it's definitely better. But you're becoming so aware, I think, of the transfer of responsibility from here to your support down here,
Sure.
right? And that's really what it is. It's about the kind of the major kinesthetic awareness of where we have, because singers, we all do it, right? We all kind of control here, and it's really always about the support and everything like that. So no, that's a great job. I'm gonna stop the recording now so that we can continue working as well. But I wanted to thank you just on the recording as well for being so amenable to being recorded like this, because it's this is such a weird thing. But
it's pretty
amazing.
vulnerable, but thank you. It's very
It is vulnerable. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that you're very courageous to do something like this. So thank you.
I appreciate that.